Okay, so when you plot these points, are you serious? It doesn't matter. That's part of your problem with the other class. Holy cow. What did I say? Put them away. I didn't say get them out. It's your last warning. All right. Get it together. Do things right. I don't care if you use your phone, but you're going to do it on my terms, okay? Not on your terms. Now, when you leave this classroom, you guys can use your phone all you want. I don't care. You're on your terms. Right? Hello? Hello. You guys with me? Is everybody with me? Okay? What's up? I'm going to avoid problems. I'm going to avoid you guys getting upset, me getting upset. Alright? What do you notice on these graphs? Hello? It's got the bottom?
That's relatively easy to do.
Yeah, it's easy, isn't it? I want it to be easy. Because it's a warm-up, right? Okay, what type of lines did they make, though? They're all positive, they're all rising. What type of lines do we call them? How do we classify them? What kind of line is it? Sure you do. It starts with an L. Linear. Okay, it's a linear. We classify it as linear. So write that down. These are all linear. Okay, now, here's what I want you to know for today's purposes. I want you to be able to tell me what the parent function is. Okay, the parent function for a linear, for a line like that is going to be y equals, now a little different in your textbook, okay, it's going to show you that right there. Put that down. Everybody, you need to all write it down because you're going to need to know this from here on out. This class, the next class, get to college, everywhere. The main thing that you need to understand is what makes it linear. What makes it linear is that little exponent right there. Okay? If it doesn't have an exponent, it's always understood it's raised to the first power, right? Okay? That's what makes it linear. Now, I can start adding. I'm going to start adding a whole bunch of things. Make sure you write this down. This is my parent. This is the way I like to write the parent function. AX. Okay, put that in parentheses. Put a plus H. And then at the end, I want you to put a plus K. Because when we talk about parent functions, we're going to talk about translations, transformations, and reflections. Okay, how is the equation changing? Everything stems from the parent function. Everybody understand? There's a whole bunch of different types of parent functions. Okay, now, copy this down. Draw your little arrow from the A. Okay, the A, we say, if the A is greater than 1, okay, it stretches vertically. Okay, and that's going to be the technical term that they're going to use on the ACT. Okay, it's going to stretch vertically. Which basically means it just gets what? Steeper. Okay? That's all it means. Just this line is going to get steeper. If A is greater than 0, but less than 1, okay, what type of number is that? If it's greater than 0 but less than 1, what type of number would it be? It's going to be a fraction or a decimal, isn't it? Okay, so if it's between 0 and 1, it stretches horizontally. which basically means it just does what? Squashes it or flattens it out. If it approaches 0 and gets to 0, what happens to the line? Then it's just what's out the line. What's 0 times x?
0.
It's 0. Okay, so then you get y equals 0, which makes a what? What type of line? Flat. On a flat line, you have no what? No slope. Hello, you guys with me? It's good stuff. You can remember a lot of this stuff. You can answer a ton of questions with just these little hints. Okay, so as A approaches 0, it flattens my line. It just moves my line down. It flattens it out. As A increases, it just makes my line do what? Get steeper and steeper. Okay. Let me do this. The H inside, and notice I included the plus. Okay, because you got to know what the sign is in front of the H. Okay? This is going to do what? Left or right in the opposite direction. Okay, so if it's a +2, which direction the whole graph, the whole line will shift where? If it's a +2, it's going to shift 2 squares to the left, right? If it's a -2, it's going to shift 2 squares to the right. Are you with me so far? Okay. The plus K at the very end. What does that do? Anybody tell me? What's it change? Which moves up or down, right? Okay, so K moves up or down. Now, do I follow? If it's a plus, then I move up. If it's a minus, I move down. K is the same thing as, in linear, it's the same thing as your B, which is your y-intercept. Hello, you guys with me? Hello, you guys. All right, pay attention. I'm going to start speeding up a little bit because I don't want to lose you. We've got 4 examples we need to get through today. Okay? Look at this slide right here. How many parent functions do you have on there?
4.
You got 4. One is the constant. Okay? F of x is the same thing as what, guys? Y. Very good. Who said that? Very good. F of x is the same thing as y. I can replace all the f of x's as y. Why do we use f of x? It's function form, but the main reason why we use f, that's the parent function. Does everybody understand? We'll get into some function in a minute where it uses like g of x, or it uses h of x, or it uses k of x. See what I'm saying? All this does, the letters in front essentially just labels which line it is. Hello, you guys hear what I just said? Okay, so don't let that confuse you. It just labels which line, because we're going to be graphing multiple lines. Okay, so if it has f, that is usually it's the parent function. Most everybody, they use f for all of them. Okay, if you have multiple equations on there, the parent's always going to be the f of x in most cases. Okay, and then be familiar. You need to know the domain and the range. On the ACT, they're going to ask you that. Okay, this line, what does my x's keep doing? Okay, so my domain is what? All real numbers. What's my range? Well, it's not going up or down, is it? Okay, it's only one number, which is what? 1. What about this line right here? Is it widening? So my domain is what? All real numbers. What's my range? What about on this one? It keeps doing what? Expanding outward, right? So my domain is what? All real numbers. My range is going to be all numbers greater than 0, because it's going what? Up. Everybody see how we're doing that? Okay. Are you guys familiar with that already? Somewhat. Okay, let's look at this one. So now, on your assignment today, this is what you're going to have to do. Guys with me? What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to identify what type of graph, what family it belongs to. Okay, and then how is it changing from its parent graph? So on this one, what family does this belong to? Absolutely got it, good. So write that in there. Absolutely got it. How does it change from the parent graph? Well, here's his parent graph right here. How's it changing? And a lot of times you can look at the equation that they give you. What do you have here? What's the 2 in front? What would that be? That's my A. Hello, you guys with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have an H? So it's not moving left or right, is it? Okay, what's my K? Okay, so my graph did what? It moved up 1, and then it stretched vertically. Because my A is greater than what? No. Greater than 1. Remember on the front? What did I say? A is greater than 1, it stretches vertically. You guys did write that down, right? Okay, because when it comes test time, you're going to need to know that. Okay, work this one real quick on your own. Let me go back real quick. I'll just help you out real quick on this. How do I know it's linear? Because it's raised, x is raised to the first power. Okay? This is somewhat linear, but you also have a line that matches up, right? Okay, that's absolute value. What's the power here? 2, right? So if it's got a power of 2, it's quadratic. Everybody understand me?
Yeah.
Thanks. If there's a minus and minus A, what's it do? Minus A does what? It reflects it across the axis, right? Okay, so do that one on your own real quick. Where's Caleb? What's it asking you to do? Okay, so it's quadratic, right? So compared to its, how's it changing from its parent function? I mean, look at the equation, guys. Holy cow. Let me do this again. G of x. Okay, it's what? First of all, A goes in the front. X minus h or plus h, square that, and then plus k. Right? Write it down if you need to. Staring off into space. A does what? Stretches vertically or horizontally, right? what does it also, what else does it do? It reflects. Okay? Write this down. The H does what? Left or in opposite direction. And then the K, up or down. Can I follow the sign? Look, can I follow the sign? Yeah. Okay, so now, the answer, what's the answer to this? What type is it? Good. Write that down. Quadratic. Okay, how's it changing from the paragraph? Well, what do you notice? You have an A. Is it between 0 and 1? Okay, so it's going to stretch out. It's going to stretch vertically, which means it's just going to widen. So write that down. Stretches horizontally. Okay, that's one thing it does. What else does it do? It's horizontal. I meant horizontal. It's widening, so we say it stretches horizontal. If it's vertical, it closes. Okay. Okay, what's it do? What else does it do? Okay, so say that. Shifts right. How many? 3 squares? And then, does it do anything else? Then write that down, that's it. What, Dunny? What are you confused about? What, Jeffrey? Where's the H? Where's the H? Okay, the H is where? Right there. And I told you that the H goes in what direction? It goes in the opposite direction. So if it's minus 3, it's going to go where? Right 3 squares. If it's a positive 3, then it's going to go 3 squares to the left. You said that, right? That was the very first thing we did. Any other questions? Where were you at when I said that?
No, I was
paying attention?
no, because like I wrote everything down on the front page, but I was very confused. I was just confused.
I was confused because everything was going out. I was.
And you were writing all that down, and I was just like,
I got it.
what?
You're still not paying attention.
Sorry, I can't read and go.
So, because we're talking about you. Okay, so which direction are we going?
All right.
Right 3 squares. Okay? If it's the A in front, if it's between 0 and 1, it stretches out. It just squashes it and widens it out. We say it stretches horizontal. If it's above 1, then it does what? Stretches it vertically, which makes it close up, makes it steeper. Everybody understand? Okay, if there was something at the end, outside of the parentheses, then that would shift it where? Up or down. Told you guys have to pay attention today. Graphing describing. Okay, so here's the 3 things that are happening here. I must describe. Either you have a transformation, which changes the size and shape or the position. A translation is going to do what? Left or right, or up and down. Reflection is going to do what? It's going to flip it. Alright? So if you got a line like this and there's negative A, what's it going to do? Well, what happens to my slope? It turns to a negative, which makes my line fall. If I have a U shape like this, and my A goes to negative, then it just does what? Just flips. Okay, is everybody clear on that? All right. That's the next one. All right, how many of you have a calculator? Okay, pull it out real quick. Now, what are two things that you can do here? Okay. Yeah, do you know what type of graphs are these? This is why this is so easy. What type of functions are these? What family do they belong to? What's its parent? It's quadratic, right? Write it down. Quadratic. Belongs to a quadratic. So what type of shape is it going to make? It's going to make a U, right? It's either going to be going up or it's going to be going down, right? Now, what do you know about quadratics? The parent has what we call a vertex, right? The vertex is either the lowest point or it's the highest point. Now, in Algebra 1, you should have learned that if it's down here, if it's the lowest point, we call that a what? A minimum. This will be on ACT. Okay? If it's at the very top, then it's the highest point, which makes it a maximum. Is everybody clear? So if a parabola has a maximum, then you know it's going where? Down. If a parabola has a minimum, then you know it's going up. Okay, for all you engineers. Okay, so what do I know about parabolas, though? U-shaped graphs. The left side always matches the what? The right side, doesn't it? Okay, so my vertex is always going to be 0, 0. And most all my parent graphs. Okay, so if I go to the left of 0, which one squared to the left of 0? Which one squared to the right of 0? You see how I'm doing this? Okay? When I'm dealing with parabolas, I always use an input table that's sideways. Because this is my vertex, right? Or my line of symmetry. If it has a line of symmetry, what can I do with it? Fold it over, right? Okay, so what's the next number here? -2, and that'd be what? How many times do I have to work this? Do I have to plug it in all 4 times? No. I just plug it in. I'm going to do the right side. Put 1 in there. Which one squared? 1. And then I attach the negative, which makes that -1. Well, it has to be -1 on the other side too, doesn't it? That does. What's -1 squared? It's 1. Okay, and then you attach the negative in front. Okay, now do the 2. What's 2 squared? 4, and then I got to attach the negative, so that makes it -4, right? What is it on the other side? -4 also, because they have to match up, right? Hello, you guys with me? Or do I need to stop? Any questions? Okay, so now plot my points. 0, 0, -1, -1, 1 and -1, 2, -4, and then it just matches on the other side. And now just like so. Okay, can I do the same thing on the other side? Sure. 1, 2, -1, -4. Do I really have to work it? I'm thinking ahead. Do I have to work them?
No.
Sorry, Danny, I make mistakes too, but I don't make as many as you do.
Oh, man.
Well, you're laughing at me.
I'm not laughing. I'm just now.
Okay, so what's the left side? How's it going to change? How is this different than this? Instead of these numbers being negative, they're going to be what? Because how is this different than that? Right, exactly. This one has a negative in front of it. This one doesn't. So my number's going to change? Only negative. So now I can graph it 0, 0, 1, 1, negative 1, 1, 2 and 4 there. Same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just by changing the A in front of it from a negative to a positive, all it does is what? It just flips it. That's a reflection. Man, we should have done some more graphics. They're so easy when you get a handle on it. It's so easy. This is like easier than putting it in the calculator. It's like easier than putting it in the calculator. Yeah. How'd I get negative 4? How'd I get negative 4? Okay, so let me work it out again. That's the function, right? Okay, so if I put 1 in for x, right? What's 1 squared? Okay, so I put 1 down, but I also have to bring the negative down, right? Okay, so if I do the same thing with the 2, what's 2 squared? 4. And then that's the negative. That's where I got the negative 4.
I thought if it was like better on
Hey, good? Haley, you good? Okay, perfect. Alright. Moving to this one. Now, I have some input-output tables there, but do I really need to use them? No, not really, okay? Why? What type of function is this? Classify it. What type? What family does it belong to?
Oh, wait.
X is raised to the first power, so that's linear. That's going to make a line. Okay, what family does this belong to?
Quadratic.
So that's going to make what type of shape?
U.
U. Is it going to be going up or down? What's my A? It's positive 1, so it's going to be going up. What is it here? My line is going to be rising or falling? Very good. So it's going to line, it's going that way, right? See, now, why do I need, why is it useful to know that? Well, I can get a ballpark picture of what it should look like, right? Once I graph it, then I know I'm in the right ballpark, right? I mean, what about the next one? Okay, now, what do you know about this one? What's it have in front? My A is what? So it's going to be going down. Everybody with me? Okay, so now, any transformations or what's this one doing? I mean, if this is my parent function,
Is that 1 is the next?
Yes.
This is my parent function right here, right? That's y equals x.
And then plus 3 is the y-intercept.
Okay, so what's it doing to my parent graph?
Shift up.
It's just moving it up. How many?
3.
3 squares. Right? Okay. That's what we're getting to. So it just added the 3, it just moved it up 3 squares. That's all it did. You see how easy that is? Hello. It's hard to tell because there's only like 4 or 5 of you that are like on your head. Okay, what about number 3? It's quadratic, right? Okay, so it's got a -2. What is that? That's going to move it. Right? How many squares? So do my parent. You guys should know what your parent graph is every time. Is it going to change? We just proved it. It's what? 1 and 1, 2 and 4. What is it on the left side? -1, 1, and then -2 and 4. There's my parent graph, right? Okay, so the +2 means it's moving to the right 2 squares. -2, just move it 2 squares to the right.
So we get the color parent graph and
Okay, on the sorry. On the next one, really, I just know it's going to flip, so I'm just going to draw it. Okay, get your calculators out real quick. Have you got one? Well, you're quick to leave, weren't you? I just got a little bit left. You want to stay for it, or is that a no?
That's the green.
All right, so on my calculator, if you have your calculator, go ahead and get it out. I'm going to show you how to do these on your calculator. It's like super way easy. Go to y equals. This first one's x plus 3. So I'm just going to go alpha button, which is right here. That gives me an x. And then a plus 3. And then I can graph it. There's my graph. Now, if I want to see my plotted points, all I do is go second table, and there's all my points. Where's my y-intercept? 0, 3. That's my y-intercept. Right? That shifted up 3 units.
Coach, how do you do that?
Oh my God. Did you guys not do any graphing in Algebra 1?
you didn't even speak English.
Really?
Oh, dude. You know what I was doing? I was covering the signs.
Yeah, are you on the Google Classroom? You still on Google? I'll just put it on there for you. Is that okay? Or you can take a picture of it with your phone. Page 14. 14 and 15. Okay. Moving on. Let me do the second one. And you may be able to figure it out. Can I do the second one? Go to y equals. Now I'm going to clear this one out. Or I could just make a second one. which is y2 or f of x2. I'm just going to keep it on the first one, so that's the only one I see. Okay, so on this one, parenthesis first, and then go alpha, which is this button here, okay, minus 2, and then I have to close it with the other parenthesis. Once I have the equation inputted, then I just hit my graph button. What did I forget? I forgot the square, didn't I?
Oh, man, go. Go. I don't know what to do.
Oh my God.
I didn't know what to click. I've been trying this for 5 minutes.
So my graph is like graphing the line, but it's
You're going
not.
to have to change your window.
All right, so window. What do I change it to?
Well, it's not showing what side.
All right, so go.
So your
to the
window is
opposite.
not going far enough to the left. So your X
Has to go right.
no,
No, left.
on your window part. See where it says your X minimum? What's your X minimum?
X minimum is 0.
So it's only going to the y-axis and stopping.
Oh,
So you
so.
want to make it go further left, right?
All right, so go 50.
I pushed alpha and everything.
It only took me 5 minutes.
Push what?
Alpha, like you said, and it wouldn't do it. It won't graph it.
You may have to change your. You got to change your line. See that right there? Okay, you got to have to change that.
What's the second one?
Oops, yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Just go down and hit left or right. Okay.
Yep, is that what I wanted on?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to look at it though.
Which more can I go right now, please?
Yeah, or sign out. Leave your phone. Okay, now you're gonna have to put parentheses, alpha, minus 2, alpha, square it, graph it. Oh, so your plot's off. See where it says your stat plot, it's off? Okay, so it's not graphing it. Does that make sense? Okay, so your stat plot is right there. Go second, stat. I guess you got that first. Go second, stat plot. Okay.
Alright.
Did you say it's Scottish?
Scottish. It's hot.
Oh yeah, so
It's a how do you treat it? It's a little bit
I don't know, man. We should be good. I don't know. Let me. Can I hang on to it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So. Yeah, he's getting the same error. You guys may have to reset your calculator.
I have a different calculator.
Okay, let me go through these two right here, and then I'll come back to you
Can
guys.
I
Okay?
take one of those because these doesn't work?
That won't graph.
I know, so can I take one?
Yeah, you can borrow one of those. Good luck finding one.
Yeah, just leave it up here. And I'll go research a little bit.
Okay, so we have some of them that are given error readings, and I'm going to have to figure that out, but I'll figure it out here in a sec. On this one right here, I want to show you how to do absolute value. If you got one that's working, this is how you do absolute value. First thing I want to do is I'm going to go back to my Y screen, and I'm going to clear all that out. Okay, now the way you do absolute value is the first thing I have to type in is I have to do a negative. Now, don't do a minus sign. You guys with me? Okay, do a negative down here. The way you get to the absolute value, watch this carefully, is you go to math, and then you're going to have to scroll over, right arrow, over to number. If you notice, option 1 says what? That's absolute value. You can do one or two things. You can hit 1, or I can just hit enter. And on the newer calculators, it'll show you the symbols right there. Okay, now, next thing is, I'm just going to type alpha, get outside of the absolute value, and then hit graph, and you should graph it. Again, if I want to see my points, and I just go to second table, and there's my vertex right there. Okay, this will be my left side. That'll be my right side. Is everybody clear? Okay.
Oh, that, yeah.
I can't find press graph and it does that.
These dimensions are all jacked up.
About them.
Sign out. Put your phone.
I'm just gonna put my name on the back.
Now your dimensions are invalid. I don't know. For some reason, it's saying your dimensions are off, but that don't.
Can you just keep going?
No, we need to fix it. What we need to do is just go ahead and reset it. Try it.
I just need to know how to see the coins. What button do I press?
Go to math and it goes to, you gotta scroll over to number and the first one is absolute value.
Oh, I know how to do absolute value. I just hit the points.
Go to second, table. Second,
Table.
table right there.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay, so we want to do this because this is just the stretch. I think you guys got that down. If it's greater, listen, the 2's in front of the absolute value. So if it's greater than 1, okay, it's going to stretch it vertically, right? So it means it's going to compress or like close it up. If it's between 0 and 1, okay, it's going to stretch it. No. It's going to stretch it horizontally, which means it's going to widen it. Everybody clear on that? Okay. I'm sitting there trying to instruct, and you're going to ask me if you can go to the bathroom? Shame on you. And just for that, you got to hold it down. Take a sheet of graph paper and pass it around.
That's actually not for the water. I won't have to print something. It's for the water.
I started like that mile for 2 years on trampling.
I think the bigger last night, big one. I like
Maybe
making those body armor.
maybe you can improve.
I use a lot of I hate pickles. I'll never do it. I'd rather print anything.
It better just take 2 seconds. Leave your phone.
I try to a lot, but I put this inside, but it doesn't work.
Alright, it's just a roll of the dice with those, man. Those have been here for like 20 years. I don't know what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to ask for some new ones, and they just tell me they're too expensive.
What?
If I bought 30 of these, if I bought 30 of those,
That would be so much.
that would be like $3,000.
I'll pay you that on that.
Yeah, that's free trade.
With interest.